The criteria is as stated. The individual award is presented to a motivated, relentless, and passionate individual who has demonstrated his or her commitment to the Montana military community by cultivating impactful and sustainable change through advocacy, leadership, and team building. This award recognizes individuals who have galvanized our military communities and our Montana community to work collaboratively towards making Montana a better place for service members, veterans, and their families. And with that, I would like Miss Marilyn Olson to please come forward. Miss Olson is the mother of 3 Marines and leads a campaign called I Run for Injured Marines, which also includes participating in marathons across the country and raising awareness for injured Marines and other service members. Marathons include the Baton Death March Marathon, that's a tough one. The Marine Corps Marathon, that's another tough one, Bloomsday and others. She has also taken it upon herself to spearhead the Montana Warrior Run here in Lewistown, I apologize, race in order to increase awareness and capital, which is very important in this day and age, for local area service members and veterans. Now, on a personal note, it's been a while since I've seen you, actually, and the mother of 3 Marines, count them, folks,
Woo!
3 Marines. I'm an Army guy, and I gotta tell you, that's just tough. Hoo-wah. That makes you an honorary Marine, I would say, by title, hands down. God love the Corps. Who used to work with them a long time ago. She has taken her experience and parlayed it into avenues of awareness while getting in phenomenal physical shape. You were what, 48 when you started this? You sure you weren't 18? So how long has that been? Great job. I don't believe you, but I'm gonna go with what you kind of said on that one. Most people, I think, would want frequent flyer miles for all the miles that you put in, but I guess, if you want to go around the world in 80 days by running, by all means. Congratulations on what you do, way to carry the flag, and way to set the standard and example. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Marilyn Olson.
Well, Ryan insisted that I wear combat boots under this dress tonight, and unfortunately I'm missing 3 toenails from the last wreck in the desert, so I opted out on that. So thanks, Ryan. There's a lot more people that are more deserving of this than myself. Right now I have a dear friend that is trekking across America right now in a retrofit 1948 John Deere tractor pulling a 24-foot camper, and he's going 14 miles an hour right now. And he's doing that not only to raise awareness to the needs of injured veterans, but also to raise funds for those injured veterans. And then there's people locally like Ryan Luco, who I came to know here a couple years ago, and in his off time, he's always reaching out to communities and trying to locate these veterans that are in transition, because oftentimes they just fade into the communities, and when they lose touch with their buddies and they exit the military, they don't have that same connection when they turn back home. They lose that military jargon, if you will, amongst their comrades, and so they just fade into the community, and so it's really difficult to identify what their needs are. And so it's up to family members such as myself to pull them back in and say, hey, I know this great organization, and I did that with my son when he came back from Afghanistan, and I brought him out to the Montana Warrior Challenge. And he says, I'm out of shape. I haven't ran since I got out of the Marine Corps. And he came out anyway. And he ended up meeting other military service members and made a connection that is a void that I can't fill. So it's through those types of things that we show our thanks and appreciation for our veterans. I think that too often times just saying thank you for your service is so self-serving. And it's through our actions that we show them that we're here to help them. And we need to step up and make sure that we know what services are available. Heroes wear many different faces. There's the heroes such as John Basilone at Iwo Jima, and then there's those that we, as a community, that might not be familiar so much with the military, that we like to look at injured veterans and call them heroes. Sometimes they are, sometimes they did above and beyond, but oftentimes, especially in our younger generation, they tend to say, hey, I just assume not step on that IED. I just assume not have had my leg blown off and come back home whole. And so, to us, they're heroes to me, especially because they choose to wake up every day and face those challenges that they have. And that's what makes them heroes. But we don't ever get that opportunity to tell them that. And I think we need to be better at defining what we mean by thank you. And so through our actions as a community and understanding their world a little bit better helps us to do that. And then lastly, our Gold Star families. I've personally experienced what it's like to become friends with a mother through a military network, pre-deployment, and just talk back and forth. You know, hey, we got a green dot. A green dot meant that they had access to the internet and we were able to chat with them for a minute. But there's nothing like waking up on a Monday morning, getting ready to go to work, and having a mother message you and ask if your son is okay because hers was killed Saturday night. And my son, his unit was the responding unit when her son got killed. What do you say to that person? So the reason that I do what I do is because it's the only way that I can give back to her. And Gold Star families, oftentimes they feel silenced. And I don't think that as a proud mother that you can, that you should ever be silenced about talking about your children. And oftentimes they feel oppressed either because they're afraid that people feel like, you know, now they've talked long enough about their child, now they need to be quiet, because otherwise people are going to assume that they haven't healed. Or that we feel we're not educated enough to know what else to say other than that I'm sorry. But I had a Gold Star father that said, someone had sent him a note and I read it. And this man had told him, hey man, you need to just chill out a little bit. Quit talking about him so much and start picking up the pieces and move on. Nobody should ever be silenced. Just because they're not here in the physical form doesn't mean that they should stop talking about their loved one and share in those joys. And so we need to learn as a community to be able to step up and help them to celebrate that. I carry a lot of men on my pack when I ruck across the desert. And people in the airports will stop me and say, you know, so tell me about your pack. I get excited about that, but then I see sadness. And I'm like, don't be sad, because these people, these families of these Marines and other servicemen members, they want to know, they want people to know their names. And the best thing that I hear time and time again from these Gold Star families is say their names. So take the opportunity, if you want to make a difference and you want to truly show and give thanks, take the time to listen to their stories and share them and celebrate their loved ones. And it's okay to talk about it, and they should never have to be silenced. So that's why I do what I do. I'm a huge advocate in nature by profession, and that bothered me. So I think we need to do a better job at that. So thank you. I'm truly grateful that there are greater people out there that are worthy of this, such as Ryan. So thank you.